Geopolitical tensions in the Middle East and beyond remains a big wild card for investors. Today, the intelligence chief of the Israel Defense Forces resigning over the failure surrounding the Hamas-led attack in October. Meantime, the House passing a $95 billion aid package for Israel, Ukraine, and Taiwan on Saturday. The legislation now moving to the Senate. Joining us now is former commander for the U.S. Central Command, General Frank McKenzie. General, welcome to Overtime. It's great to have you on.
Good to be here today. Thanks for having me.
So I do want to start with what we've seen in the Middle East, because over the last 3 days, on the heels of Israel's counter response to Iran, which much smaller than originally intended by that country, it does seem like markets and perhaps the general public is breathing a sigh of relief that we've avoided escalation. Is that how you see it?
I think the Israeli response was carefully crafted to send just the right signal, enough to let the Iranians know they're capable of reaching out and touching them in very hurtful ways if the Iranians continue along the path they started. At the same time, it reassured Israel's friends and allies that they were going to be responsible going forward. And here's the key thing. The Iranian attack on Israel of last weekend was a failure. It was a significant operational victory for Israel. And Israel's task in the aftermath of that victory was to find a way to fashion it into something strategic. And I think by choosing the method of attack and the scale and scope of the attack that they did, they went a long way towards doing that. So I think it was all in all a very good thing for Israel. I think today Israel is much stronger in the region than they were before. And I believe Iran is gravely weakened.
And to that point, 300 plus missiles and drones is a very meaningful attack, as the U.S. administration has discussed at length over the past, call it, week. But one of the other things that, in addition to the technological capability of Israeli and American missile defense systems and other types of weapon systems, is it draws into the spotlight the cost or the impact on stockpiles at a time where we know the defense industrial base has been strained with some supply chain issues to try and replenish stockpiles. And we know that now you have lawmakers pushing through this $95 billion weapons and national security spending package. Can we keep pace with what's needed, whether it is Israel or Ukraine or some of these other geopolitical tensions or hotspots that are flaring around the world?
Well, I think you laid it out exactly right. While that was a magnificent victory over the weekend, we're on the wrong side of a cost imposition curve. It's a lot easier to build those weapons that are attacking us than the defensive architecture that stopped it. So we need to learn from this. We need to learn from what's happening in Ukraine. And we certainly need to look at replenishing our arsenal, which is actually depleting rapidly, as you noted, just based on the expenditures in Ukraine and by Israel in the Middle East.
General, with all these demands, how stretched is the U.S. military capability?
So the United States has a remarkably strategically agile military. The aircraft carrier can be moved around the world very quickly. Our fighter squadrons, our bomber squadrons, our other elements of the force can be moved rapidly. And that's our great strength. No other nation in the world can reposition strategically like the United States. At the same time, we are seeing wear and tear on the force because of continued use, and that's a factor that we need to take into account. I mean, if someone asked me, we need more of some of these kinds of assets, particularly the high density, low demand, high demand, low density assets like Patriot batteries, as an example. We need to look at just how remarkably effective those systems have been over the past few years, possibly something we should consider investing more in.
Are we learning anything as you watch this about the strategic value of drones when it comes to sending a message that perhaps puts human life in a different kind of position?
Drones have changed the character of the battle. They're not I don't believe they're revolutionary. They're evolutionary. There are ways to defend against drones. You can defend against drones kinetically by shooting them down. You can defend against them electronically by jamming them and doing other things. This is the ancient offensive defensive rhythm of the battlefield, and it will reset going forward. Today, I think, particularly in Ukraine, the ubiquity of drones has slowed maneuver. I do not believe that's the final step in this dance, though, if you will. People will come up with countermeasures. The battlefield will change yet again. Anyone who believes that some new system or some new capability represents the last great advance in warfare is often tragically wrong.